The movie commences with a war scene. The leader motivates the men in his team to keep on fighting. They're headstrong and continue moving towards the enemy. Guns fire on and on, but they don't back down. They're adamant on winning their land. But suddenly, the enemy strikes back from behind their backs. All the men get shot and die. The leader motivates his men, saying they're very close and they'd fight till death. His team agree and pledge to win the war no matter what happens. The leader, who happens to be the protagonist of the movie, is Captain Vikram. Vikram notices his team losing hope, so he takes a grenade and jumps towards the army, not caring about his life. We see a flashback of Vikram playing cricket with his friends. Vikram had always been a strong and confident boy who never feared anyone. One day, their ball is taken by some bullies. Vikram asks them for the ball, but they try to bully him. He doesn't back down and beats up the bully instead. He takes the ball and runs away. His father berates him at his home for fighting with such dangerous boys. But Vikram adamantly says that he will never bow down to anyone. His father is very concerned about him. Vikram's dream had always been to become an army officer. He always tried to put on the military's uniform any chance he got. A man stands on a platform and narrates Vikram's story. We later find out it's Vikram's twin brother, Vishal. He tells everyone in the audience about his brother's inspirational and daring story. Vikram later on becomes successful in the military. He started his military journey as a lieutenant to serve in a very dangerous zone. He is welcomed into the region by his captain, Rajiv. Rajiv asks him about his life and ambitions, from where their friendship starts. The enemy-infested area drives away almost all of the locals. The area, known as 13 Jack Riff, has the most talented and brave men. Vikram gets introduced to all. He gets told about all his duties and starts training relentlessly along with all his other mates. A month later, Vikram and his team are at the guard since the culprits are on the rise. All his team members are skeptical of the locals, but not Vikram. He has befriended all of them and stays at their place from time to time. He talks to everyone as if they're his family and warns everyone against their enemy. His senior warns him about not messing with the locals too much, since their enemies could be disguised as one. His senior tells to stay alert and less cheery. Vikram tries to joke around but is quickly shut down by his boss. At a checkpoint, Vikram is checking all the vehicles for illegal weapons. Vikram thinks they got a fake message about it, but then notices something shady. He runs behind a car only for them to attack Vikram's team. Vikram runs towards them alone despite his captain telling him not to. Vikram single-handedly tackles all the culprits and captures them. His senior yells at him a lot for acting like a hero. Vikram tries to defend himself, but his senior, Captain Sanjeev, shuts him down really quickly. Vikram is disheartened by this but still gets praised by all his mates for acting so brave and not caring about his life. His team members tell him they've never seen a man so selfless before, but Vikram just smiles. Captain Sanjeev comes to them and offers him a cigarette. Vikram is stunned by his sudden generosity. He thanks Vikram for saving his life and the civilians. Vikram is happy that he's finally accepted. Captain Sanjeev asks Vikram to call him Jimmy from now on, as that's his nickname, and Vikram happily agrees. At night, Vikram goes back to his tent and is elated to see a letter. He jumps on his bed and hastily opens the letter. We hear a girl's voice reading the letter, symbolizing her sending him that letter. It's none other than the love of Vikram's life, Dimple. She taunts him for not writing her back or asking how she is. Vikram smiles and blushes as he goes on reading the letter. He remembers his college days and starts writing back to Dimple. In the flashback, Vikram and Dimple are in the same group and keep looking at each other, but neither of them makes a move. He has a big crush on Dimple, but she just ignores him. Finally, after a couple days, she looks back at him and smiles. Vikram is on cloud 9. He and his friends try to buy alcohol from a military shop, but the man at the counter kicks them out. Vikram promises the man that he'd return back to buy the same alcohol in his military uniform one day, and storms away with his best friend. The next morning, Vikram asks Dimple's best friend to help him. She urges Vikram to talk to Dimple whenever they meet next. Vikram decides to do just that, but chickens out at the last moment. He instead tries to flirt with Dimple's best friend to make her jealous. Dimple notices this and tells him to come on a walk with her to discuss some things. Vikram is nervous yet excited. Dimple tries to flirt with Vikram, but he gives very blunt answers. She says that the whole college thinks they're dating and she wants it to turn into reality. Dimple tells Vikram that she really likes him and he reciprocates the feeling. They hold hands and decide to meet every day to get to know each other further. They both express their heart's feelings and actually start dating. They spend almost all their time chatting and talking. They connect instantly and get closer and closer. They completely fall for each other, not caring about a thing in the world. Dimple and Vikram are almost inseparable when she finds out he's joining the army. She supports him in his decision and they continue their relationship happily. They're never felt more in love. One day, Vikram tells Dimple that he's done dating and wants to marry her. He gets down on his knee at that very instant and proposes to her with some beautiful flowers. Dimple is about to say yes when her father sees her. Vikram is invited to her house in order to meet with her family. Dimple's father instantly rejects their relationship as they're from different cultures and castes. Vikram is adamant and tells his father he's going to join the merchant navy as they earn a lot of money. He plans to earn a handsome salary and ask for Dimple's hand in marriage again. His family loves Dimple and are completely okay with their marriage. On the other hand, Dimple's father plans to get her married to another guy of their culture. Dimple strictly says no, but his father pesters her. She gives him an ultimatum that she'll either marry Vikram or she'll never marry anyone in her life. Her family is appalled to hear this and doesn't know how to react. Vikram's friend tells him not to join Merchant Navy, as that's not his dream, but Vikram replies he'd do anything for Dimple. He's even ready to give up on his dreams. Vikram realizes that his best friend is right and that he'll never be happy if he joins the Merchant Navy. He tells Dimple that he's joining the military and she's shocked. She yells at him saying she fought her whole family for him and he keeps on changing his mind. Dimple tells him he can do whatever he wants and she'll give him all the time he wants as well. But he can't call or contact her until he's settled down into a profession. She claims she can't keep fighting with her father over this and storms away. In the present scenario, Vikram and Jimmy talk about some criminals. He finds out that almost all the army personnel there have a spy of their own whose identity cannot be discovered. He gets into trouble for this. In their enemy's territory, the culprits brutally eliminate innocent people for double-crossing them. Haider, the leader, threatens everyone, saying he'd eliminate anyone even remotely related to the Indian army. Among the people there, a timid boy is present too. He's the son of a shopkeeper who is very close to Vikram. The people who were eliminated are hung on a pole as a threat for anyone who dares cross Haider. Vikram and his team are appalled to see this. Vikram and Jimmy are commanded to handle this, and Vikram is applauded by his seniors for handling all the chaotic situations very well. At night, Vikram's colleague, Bansi, tells him about his newborn daughter. Vikram offers to fund her education and Bansi is thrilled. He tells Vikram how he's anxious to hold his daughter for the first time ever in the holidays. Just then, the shopkeeper comes to Vikram. Vikram notices the tension and asks what's wrong, and the shopkeeper finally tells him about his son's affiliation to the culprits and how their life is in danger. The shopkeeper begs Vikram to help him, but Vikram sees this as an opportunity to use the boy Arslan as his spy, since Arslan has been scouted by Haider to be trained as a soldier. The shopkeeper is shocked, but Vikram tells him it's for Arslan's safety, as Haider will eliminate him if he tries to run away. Vikram and Jimmy raid Haider's territory as per Arslan's information. They find lots of ammo and guns there. Vikram is happy that they've achieved such a feat and are going back to their area when their cars are blown up. Haider's men attack Vikram's team and unfortunately, Bansi is eliminated. They're ambushed and most of them are injured as well. Vikram blames himself for Bansi's death and cannot forgive himself for his martyrdom. Jimmy tries to comfort him, but Vikram pledges to eliminate everyone who attacked them, and if anyone has to die, it would be him. Vikram goes to meet Arslan, but his father stops him. The shopkeeper knows about Bansi's death and thinks Arslan will get eliminated too. Arslan decides to help Vikram even if his father is against it. Arslan tells his father he'd rather die for his country than for Haider. Arslan tells Vikram about Haider's whereabouts and Vikram's team is ready to attack Haider. The chief tells Vikram to command the mission and accomplish it as soon as possible. His team moves stealthily into the night and attacks Haider's army. Vikram takes a very big risk but manages to avert any casualties. They kill almost all of Haider's men and save the civilians. Vikram kills Haider as well and ends up being the hero in his regiment. The officers warn him as well because such reckless behavior could get him killed, but doesn't care. He goes back home for vacation, but unbeknownst to him, the enemies are already planning for a war. The rival army isn't going to back down, and even though they've been warned multiple times, they're still out for blood. At home, Vikram and Dimple reunite and Dimple finally accepts him. She's mad, but Vikram doesn't know why. He tries to persuade her to stay calm, but she gets emotional. Vikram was supposed to stay for 3 days but is going back way too soon. She's angry that Vikram doesn't spend time with her at all. He drags him inside a temple. Vikram is incredulous as to what's happening, but Dimple remains adamant. They worship the gods there and get married secretly. Vikram is happy that Dimple and him are finally together, and will get to spend whatever time they have together with no restrictions. Vikram teases and Dimple blushes. She's shocked that Vikram actually married her and calls him crazy. He promises he'll spend his entire life with her. They go on rides and immerse in each other's love. They go to a beautiful place and spend a lot of time together. They get lost in each other's eyes and spend the night together. Dimple stares at him like it's the most precious thing for her. Then, he tells her he's going back to meet his family and he'd come back to meet her before he goes to do his duty. Dimple is extremely sad and doesn't want him to go, but he persuades her, saying he'd always be there for her. At home, Vikram finds out about the tensions in 13 Jack Riff. Some soldiers were killed as well. Vikram's best friend also tells him to be careful, as you never know what might happen. Vikram tells his friend that he'll come back with his country's flag held high, or with his country's flag wrapped around his body. This stresses his friend out because a war is about to occur. He decides to go back to his station as soon as possible to make sure the situation gets controlled. Dimple is upset and tears stream down her face. Vikram assures her that he loves her a lot and would come back, just for her. Dimple tells him that the next time he comes back, She wants him all to herself. Vikram tells her he'll come back and marry her with all her family's blessings. He even puts sindoor on her forehead to symbolize her married status. She hugs him tightly, not wanting him to go. He reminisces all the memories they've had together. She bids him goodbye with a smile on her face and tears running down her cheeks. She had no idea that this would be the last time she'd ever see him, and Vikram would, in fact, come back as a martyr who sacrificed himself for his country. Vikram sees that his junior in school got murdered by the rival country as well. They tortured him and Vikram is distressed. India starts preparing for the fight and Vikram couldn't be any more ready. All of the seniors and every battalion and regiment of the Indian Army is present at 13 Jack Rift to fight the war. Vikram is exhilarated to see so many soldiers gathered at one place with only one aim: fight for the country. The country starts preparing all their weapons and Vikram oversees it all. Vikram and his teammates are chatting about the war and boasting about their abilities when suddenly, a missile falls there. It starts raining bombs and bullets. Many soldiers are injured and most of them take over. The bombing doesn't stop and so many soldiers lose their life. They take shelter but the base camp is almost demolished. It's a very pitiful sight. Dead and injured soldiers are getting carried here and there. Vikram is about to get eliminated but fortunately, the bomb doesn't detonate. Dust and blood fills up the entire land and the Indian Army almost loses half of their army. One of Vikram's senior and close friends, Jassi, gets severely injured as well. They take him away to get treated but he isn't able to make it. He is put to eternal sleep and the entire regiment is shaken up by this loss. Tears stream down all their eyes as they look at Jassi's body. Jimmy tells Vikram that even they might not be able to make it back home and Vikram tells not to think so. He tells them to muster up all their courage as the war's not over. At home, Dimple is extremely worried to see the gruesome sight on TV. She's scared as to what might happen since the war has just begun and the worst is yet to come. Vikram's chief comes back to the regiment to discuss the important matters at hand. He tells the team that they're going to war now and they're no longer a reserve team. The chief assigns code names to all the officers and a secret code used to communicate through the radio. This is when Vikram gets the code name Shershaw. The chief explains all about the enemy territory which is saturated with dangerous, armed men. Many base camps have been captured by the Indian Army except one, and that's where Vikram is sent. They train relentlessly as their base camp is atop a mountain with almost zero chances of survival. Oxygen levels are very low and every ounce of stamina is needed, but Vikram isn't scared. He's ready to face death. They plan to attack the base camp at night since it's almost impossible during the daytime. The chief bids them farewell and wishes them all the best. They climb steep mountains and start their mission. Firing starts and different places get blown up as the time passes. Jimmy calls Shershaw but the enemy hears it. They're confused by the code names but listen into the plan. They start joking on the phone a little but tell each other their location. But the enemy hears it all. They know that Vikram's team is coming. Vikram continues his journey when he's called by the enemy and threatened, but Vikram doesn't back down. The enemy tells him he'll eliminate Vikram the moment he comes to the top, but Vikram insults the enemy instead. They're ambushed but keep moving. Jimmy also reaches the top. The sun is about to rise and they haven't got much time. They finally reach the base camp and plan their battle strategy. They all stealthily move towards the base camp and the war starts. Bullets start flying here and there and numerous people are eliminated. Vikram's team blow up the whole camp and successfully manage to take over the base camp after eliminating all the culprits there. Vikram alone manages to fight off many culprits even though he is in a compromising position himself. He's not scared. There are many casualties as well, but this proves to be a huge feat for the Indian Army. Jimmy and Vikram come back to the camp with victory in their palms. They celebrate and are applauded for their bravery. They cheer and establish their flag on the base camp as it flutters in sovereignty. Vikram and his team click pictures and are commemorated by the chief. Vikram is promoted and becomes a captain. He is also nominated for a huge national award for his exceptional bravery and service to the country. Jimmy is promoted too and they get instantly famous. Vikram sits down for an interview. His family is rejoicing looking at Vikram speaking on national TV. All his school friends and acquaintances appreciate him for being a national hero. Dimple watches him eagerly as well and is filled with pride and love. Her father is also accepting of Vikram now that he has proven himself. On the other hand, the rival army even refuses to take their soldiers' dead bodies for not winning the war. The martyrs are buried by the Indian Army instead according to Islamic rites so that the dead soldiers can get peace. The chief tells Vikram about another base camp which is seemingly the most powerful. If that call is captured, the war will be over and India will get victory. Vikram is excited to participate in that as well. The chief tells him that another team is handling it, but Vikram refuses, saying he doesn't want to rest but fight for his country. The chief agrees to this request and Vikram is made second in command in the mission. Vikram is ecstatic and calls Dimple. Her father picks up, but Vikram proudly says he wants to speak to Dimple. Dimple's father hands her the phone without a question, and Dimple is shocked. She is extremely happy to get his call, and tears stream down her eyes. He tells about all his achievements, and she is extremely proud. She can't wait for the day when he comes back and marries her officially. He tells to start all the preparations for the wedding, and Dimple is delighted. They say "I love you" to each other and hang up. The war is about to start, and Vikram addresses all his teammates. He tells them to fight for glory and not be scared of death. He motivates them that the infamous Kargil war will be over once they capture that territory, and India won't have to fight anymore. The whole team is exhilarated and starts their journey. They start fighting, and the whole team is influenced by Vikram and his bravery. They don't give up and continue fighting even though the odds are against their favor. But Vikram is adamant on winning. Vikram tells his team to go on and never stop. They fight relentlessly, and so many army officials die. They sacrifice their lives for us without even a minor complaint. They blow up the entire place, but the rival officers are too many. Vikram doesn't give up and continues fighting even though most of his soldiers are eliminated. This is when Vikram decides that he will sacrifice himself if necessary. He thinks the war is over, but more and more soldiers come to the fight. One more camouflage team of soldiers are left. Vikram fights them but gets shot in the process. But he doesn't give up and continues fighting even after getting shot multiple times. He eventually succumbs to his injuries as his team continues. He sees that India has won the base camp and is extremely happy. He calls out the Almighty one last time before eventually dying. His casket is taken and walked around the city whole hailing his name. He has made the whole country proud. Vikram's family is devastated. They have lost Vikram and are numb. The army team brings in Vikram's body with utmost respect. His best friend remembers all the time Vikram dreamed about being in the military, and tears don't stop coming from his eyes. His family is reminiscent of all the times Vikram had been commemorated, and how he always made them proud just at the mere age of 24. The whole country salutes him, and Vishal does the final rites. Just then, Dimple comes running to see Vikram. She desperately pushes people away to get to Vikram's funeral. She can't believe that he's not here anymore. She sees the sight in front of her and can't stop wailing out loud. She looks at the pyre Vikram's body is burning in and falls down to her knees. She is devastated. She remembers how he married her and how much he loved her. She can't stop sobbing because he's no longer with her. Vishal tells this whole story in a TED Talk. Based on a true story, Captain Vikram was awarded a sacrifice award. Dimple never married anyone in her life and spent her whole life dedicated to a school and Vikram.